Well, good day to everyone. My name is Dmitry or Mita Orlov, and my topic for today will be about our new development, new programs that we want to add to the BioWell software. So, but before I come to, just actual demonstration of the programs, I need to speak a little bit about why do we go in this direction by adding more and more tabs, more programs in the software? Well, you see that I don't have any medical or psychological education, and I've learned to do the interpretation on my own, just like by praxis, by practicing it and listening to other people who have some experience in this field. So, but the main question in the BioWell is what we actually doing the analysis of. So what's the main reason of using the BioWell? And and also the adjacent question is what our users, BioWell users, lack the most. And the answers are very close to each other, because when some people buy the BioWell, they expect to see something that is not visible or measurable by other methods. So they expect to see something that you can't see in other places and with other methods and technologies. But what they lack is that once they do this magical beep, 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 the gas the discharge with the BioWell with GDV camera, the problem is that what to do with these images, what to do with all these numbers, because actually the software doesn't give any interpretation. So the main thing that most of the BioWell users lack is the interpretation of the data, and henceforth education in this field, how actually to extract useful data from the enormous amount of digits and pixels that you see on the screen. So the next question that arises is why it is so damn hard to make interpretation with the BioWell. Because actually it is true, it is hard to do the interpretation, and many BioWellers who just get their new device and think that, oh yeah, now I will rule the world. Unfortunately, they stumble upon big problems in this area. And one of the reasons is because, well, from my perspective, is just because human organism by default doesn't want to share its secrets. No matter what kind of tool you use, if you are not actually cutting the body and actually extracting everything out from outside and looking at it, still maybe you will see only the structural part. Well, you will not understand how it functions just by looking at it. So it's still a big problem that the organism doesn't want to reveal the secrets. And most of the BioWellers and just therapists, it's not only about application of the BioWell, it's also about application of different other technologies. People expect that they do the measurement and they like get everything just from the first try. So, but unfortunately, in the BioWell, one of the biggest issues is that you do the scan when the client comes to you, and it doesn't correlate with the feedback from the client. So you don't see those, chronic fatigue or pain in that area or like other stuff on the scan. And most of the people just get disappointed with the technology just because they don't see this direct correlation. So I will show just as an example in the BioWell software, one of the cases. But this is one of the biggest problems in the interpretation, because people expect to see the direct correlation between the complaints of the client with the first default scan. But if we take into consideration that our organism has self-regulatory processes, compensatory processes that usually block the external view of the problems that are inside, the default scans do not reveal the secrets in most of the cases. Maybe if you will scan the person who is in an acute stage of illness development, like in some hospital already, then yeah, you will get the direct correlation right from the first scan. But usually such people don't come for the BioWell scans. Usually people who come for the BioWell scan, they feel more or less fine, so they have some complaints, but they were able to come, etc. themselves. So, and then there is another thing, is that the actual feedback from the client is not always equal to the actual state of the client. Because what we think that is happening inside of us doesn't mean that it's actually happening inside of us. So our feelings and emotions and our self-assessment is not so true. So when you do the BioWell scans, you cannot fully trust the feedback from the client. You have to actually use the technology. So as long as the BioWell is a functional analysis, you have to understand that function is not a static thing. Function is a dynamic thing. You cannot study dynamic process by doing one static image. It's impossible. How can you measure the speed of the car if you have only one photo of this car in one moment? It's impossible, just like from the physical point of view. Same with the body, like you are trying to understand all the processes that are going on inside the body and reveal all the secrets, but you're doing only one scan. So even if you just repeat the scans multiple times in the default state, in most of the cases, you will still not reveal the secret of the body, because the body will hide them and compensate them and imitate that everything is fine. So that's why one of the main tricks and methods in the interpretation, and not only in the BioWell, but in most of the therapies, is that in order to find out what's actually going on a functional level, you have to apply some load, some stress. So, and then you can see the reaction of the organism to this applied stress, and then you can see the delta, the shift, the changes that happen. So if you think that there are problems with respiratory system, you have to do the breathing exercises. If you think there are some other problems with the digestive system, you will have to see the reaction to some food consumption, etc., or drinking some liquid, etc. So there should be some stress tests that help you to reveal what's going on inside. Because with any system, there are so-called, stress tests that should be done. Same thing when you put your car on the service, they will do and run those stress tests for it, for the braking mechanism, for the air conditioner mechanism, etc. So they will do these kind of stress tests. So in order to actually reveal the secrets, you have to do these, apply some stress on the person, and then do the scans and see the reaction. So in this case, you have higher probability of actually seeing and revealing the truth about the client. So, and unfortunately, I will share the screen and I will show you a scan. So this person has come for a consultation with a complaint of a fatigue, or even chronic fatigue, that the person feels tired non-stop, and whatever he starts doing, he feels tired right away. So, but the first scan is showing optimal energy, 52 joules. Good. Then next default scan has been made, again 52.8, so same. So you see almost no difference between two scans. They both were done in the default state. So then even the scan was made in after a little bit of running. But you see again, the energy is 53. So how come that like person feels tired and the energy still stay optimal? Like if there will be more BioWell users online now, I will ask them that, have you had such an experience when you have done the scan maybe late in the evening or at night when you're absolutely tired and the BioWell shows that your energy is optimal? I think that most of the BioWell users has stumbled upon this situation and they were just asking, how come? How can this happen? Why my energy is optimal while I'm feeling tired or exhausted? You know, so, and here we come to the question, what is the difference between the energy that we see in the BioWell and actual your feeling of tiredness? Because what is actually feeling tired inside of your body? When you say you are tired, do you mean that your liver is tired, or maybe your kidney is tired, or you mean your left lung is tired, or something like that? No, I think that when you say that you're tired, it comes from here, your overall feeling, or maybe from your muscles, because you've done a lot of physical work through the day. Maybe you were standing a lot or running or walking, etc. So, but tell me, those of you who are BioWell users, do we have muscles sectors in the BioWell system that can show the tiredness of the muscles? Do we have, where are the main muscles? The legs, the arms, right? Do we have these sectors in the BioWell? No, we don't. How can we see in the BioWell tiredness of the muscles, or tiredness of your brain that is like fed up with all this work or something, or other problems that can happen in real life? So tiredness is something else. So why do we see the optimal energy no matter what? Again, it's lack of usually education that doesn't allow us to make proper interpretation. So let's return back to what actually BioWell measures. It measures the functional state of organs and systems in the organism, the energetic states. So we all know that each organ has a cycle, 24-hour cycle, where with the peaks of functionality and lows of functionality. So each organ, each system, like henceforth, each meridian and each dosha, etc., they like, or like each meridian and each organ and system, they have highs and lows 24/7. But at any moment in time, some of the organs are at peak functionality while some are taking rest. So it doesn't matter at which time of the day you are doing measurement. Some of the organs are at peak functionality. Some are taking rest. So it means that there is no problem in seeing optimal energy when you are feeling tired at the evening, because organs work. They work 24/7. No matter what is your opinion about tiredness, your muscles are tired or not. Maybe your brain is more tired at the evening, etc. But in general, there are meridians, there are organs that are functioning at the peak performance at this any moment in time. Even at midnight, you can go to the software, you can open the meridians tab, And you can find out that the heart meridian, it has maximum at the daytime, while it has minimum at the midnight. So, okay, when you can expect this, but when you measure at the daytime, it can have higher emissions slightly. When you measure at midnight, it will have lower emissions slightly, right? So, but if you go for example, for the liver, you will find out that its maximum functionality is at the nighttime, at 1 to 3 a.m. So when you are asleep. So if you do the measurement at that time, you can expect to see higher emission in that area. So it means that whenever you do the measurements, the energy is in optimal range, not because you are tired or not tired, it's because your organs that are measured in our system, these sectors, are working optimally. Some are doing their job because it's working hours for them. Some are taking rest because it's a time for rest. So, but again, people get confused if they don't understand this properly, these 24-hour cycles, the meridians, etc. So, in order to make proper interpretation in the BioWell, you have to study these things, and you have to understand not only the superficial level, but you have to study different other approaches to the understanding of the human being. So that's why some years ago we have introduced the Yin-Yang program, the 12 meridians idea. So it is here. You can always see at which time of the day which meridian is at maximum peak performance, when it is at lowest performance. And then maybe you will sooner or later you will understand these kind of oscillation, how our organism works, like the engine in the car, the cylinders going up and down in each time. So then you know that we have the chakras program that helps us with the psychological interpretation, etc. But we were always eager to find more correlations, so to look at the person from different perspectives. So that's why we are constantly working on introducing new programs into the BioWell software to help you with the interpretation. So one of the programs that Dr. Gururaj will talk about during this congress is about doshas, the 3 doshas, the Ayurvedic approach. And this program gives this, from the full scan, gives the assessment of the doshas. Gururaj will speak more about it. He has done correlation studies with the Indian device for correlation with the BioWell scans, and will reveal the results that he has accumulated through this time, because we have started developing this program almost 2 years ago. So there's a lot of statistical data collected. Another program is the connection of well, of course, of course, if you look at each chakra, you will have some connections with different organs and functions. Same as meridians. Same if you go to another new program, Vertebras, about each part of your vertebra, you can see which of them are hyper-functioning or hypo-functioning, which are in optimal state. And again, you will see the link to a specific organ or system that this specific vertebra is connected to. Again, it's a different aspect from which you can look at the person, and that can help you with interpretation. Because for even if you take some set diagnoses, there can be multiple reasons why the person is in such a state. It's not only the physiological, like It can be the vertebra. It can be nerves near these vertebra that are getting blocked and that the innervation of a specific organ doesn't work properly. Or if we go to the chakras, it can be a psychological thing, because every organ, every system has a connection with some feeling and emotion. So then again, we can see it's another aspect from which you can do interpretation and think that, okay, if you are feeling constantly tired and exhausted, etc., so then maybe it's on a psychological level too. It's one of the aspects too. Then the teeth program, the dental program that we are developing, well, the design of these programs is not yet finished. So these are like in a test mode. So we are collecting more data and we're working on the beautiness of these programs. Dr. Nata Pignatar from Brazil will speak about these connections, that every tooth in your mouth has a specific connection with specific organs and meridians and vertebrae. So now, like, you have a connection with the teeth, meridian, organ, and vertebrae. So you can combine and look at the one symptom that you know about from different aspects. So we expect an interesting report from Dr. Nata Pignataro about the dental program. I will not talk more about it. There is one more program that we are developing now. We are working on a psychodynamics program that will allow you to make a like neurodynamic psychological interpretation of the case when you have done multiple scans for the person. And then this program in the compare mode will give you some conclusions about this person from a psychological and neurological perspective. Well, this program, we are still, you know, like enriching it, adding more and more features into it, but it's one more aspect beside the chakras that everybody knows, because the chakras is one of the oldest programs in the BioWell software and GDV software. So this neurodynamic program will add a little bit on top and help you a little bit with interpretation of the psychological aspects. But well, for example, the last program that I will talk about is the lifestyle. Well, it has been already several years, I think, since we have started working on development of this approach, the lifestyle analysis approach in the BioWell software. And this year we have devoted to the work on actual cool design of this program, because this is the aspect that we want to pay maximum attention to. So why? Because when you find out that something is wrong, like on a functional level, energetic level, with the liver, with the lungs, or with some intestines or vertebrae, etc., what will you do? So one of the solutions, you can go to an allopathic doctor who will prescribe you some pills, or maybe you will go to some functional doctor who will tell you maybe more interesting exercises to fulfill, etc. But well, what we try to highlight for all the practitioners who uses the BioWell, the integrative medicine approach, is that it's all about the lifestyle in most of the cases. So whenever you see some problems in one or another sphere, usually it is directly connected with some of the spheres in your lifestyle. So, and we have prepared a new design for the lifestyle tab that will help you to do the interpretation of the 6 main spheres of the lifestyle. you remember, maybe some of you remember that we were talking more about 5 levels, 5 spheres. So now we have, corrected it, improved it. So it's 6 spheres. So it's physical activity, and you see the icon is demonstrating it. The nutrition, what you eat and consume, the psychological state, mental state, the environmental influences that also influence your energetic state, the time of the day, the regime that you like, when you sleep, etc. So mainly connected with the brain activity, and also the endocrine system, the hormonal activity, the sexual activity for men and women. So these are the 6 main spheres that actually affect the energetic state of the person. So, and can lead to some problems with one or another organ or system in the body. So actually what we try to introduce here is that instead of taking pills, if it's not too late, I mean, you can see that the highest level of the attention should be to the physical activity. So it will mean that you don't need to do a surgical operation. You just need to devote more time to movement. You do the stretching, you do yoga, you walk more, etc. And the problems that you experience now will get solved. Maybe your organism is lacking some vitamins or minerals or amino acids, etc. So that means you need to change a little bit the nutrition. Maybe you need to take some food additives, etc. Then this sphere will get highlighted. You will know that this is the sphere in which you need to work more at this moment. So this is the dark mode. This is the preliminary version of an so-called esoteric mode. And the light mode of this tab will look like this. So we are going to, finalize the design of it, and soon we will introduce it to the BioWell software, and the lifestyle tab with the interpretation, with highlighting for you the top priority for the scanned person, will help you in making real interpretation and give to the client some useful recommendations. It's time for me to conclude, I think. Well, just to finalize with these case that I have opened for you. So the person who was scanned 3 times, and even the energy remained the same even after running, and person was not convinced with the BioWell just by looking at the integral values. Well, you need to a little bit dig deeper into understanding why exhaustion, lack of energy can happen. So it means that you need to study the functional responsibilities of different organs. So you need to know that, okay, in order to produce energy, you need glucose and you need oxygen. So then it means you need liver function and you need lungs function. So it means then there is also the endocrine system issues with the, for example, thyroid gland. But well, let's start from the superficial level. And if we look at the scans made for this person, with all 3 times from 3, we will see this abnormal emission at the liver area. So it has gone even more abnormal after the exercises. So for sure, there is something wrong in energetic state of this organ. And liver is directly connected with the production of the energy, especially when you have any physical load. Also, if you look at the lungs, you will also find for this person that the respiratory system is not doing very good too. So you see the highest values are here for the liver sector and for respiratory system and lower back. Well, it's not something unusual having the lower back like that for people nowadays, because we are living in a sitting regime too much. But what you see with the liver and lungs, it can directly tell you that, yeah, the exhaustion, like physical exhaustion, can happen just because liver and lungs doesn't work properly. So there is not enough oxygen, there is not proper processing of glucose in the organisms. So then, even though you don't see the optimal level generally, you see the optimal level generally, it can help you to understand why this exhaustion happens for this specific person, and then you tell that the direction in which person needs to move. So you need to take care of nutrition. Maybe you need to check, thanks to the new programs, you can check vertebras, you can check the psychological part, you can check the meridians, you can check teeth, because there are teeth that are connected with the liver function, etc. So from different perspective, you can analyze this case, and just by knowing that, okay, exhaustion, what can it be connected to? And you click in different programs, look at this from different perspective, and you know where to go. So these programs that I have talked about, the lifestyle program will be a default program for everyone, whilst other programs that I have talked about, they will be a one-time buy. So if anyone will be interested in looking at the teeth or at the Doshas, you will have the opportunity to buy this program in your private cabinet at bwacc.com. And it will get activated forever ever in your software, in your account. So soon, like very soon, right after the Congress, we will introduce this functionality to the cabinets. But well, we didn't want to introduce it too fast, because we are expecting very interesting reports and presentations from Guru Raj and Nato about 2 of these programs. I thank you very much for your attention.